Okay, back again. We are now in SharpCap, so we're going to do the same test again. And this is the first time I've used SharpCap here. I have managed to turn off the cooler power here to off, and I will do I'm going to connect. You'll notice right now. By the way, when I was disconnected off the camera, I was pulling about 1.4 amps steady state. And so the moment the driver kicked in here, it kicked it into 3.4 amps, which I've heard is to be expected. Notice that it is cooling. Wants to try to get down to 0. I think a doctor said that it tries to do that initially so that you don't have to spend a lot of time for the initial cooling of the camera. So let's see how I want to do this. I'm going to go ahead and drop this target temperature down to -5 here and see what happens. And again, we're still at that -3.4-ish. Do like SharpCap because it is more the video program. You can see on the screen if I put my hand in front of the sensor, you can see it's definitely alive. So we're going to try to drop that down to -5 here. Got the cooler set to auto power, so hopefully it will do what it needs to there. Of course, it's going down a lot slowly. -5 is my target temperature here. You'll notice it has dropped off quite a bit here. That I've set it on auto, so it's deciding to do it more slowly. It's not pulling the type of amperage at that. There, cooler power. Guess they're doing cooler power on a scale of what, 0 to 255. So 8 bits worth of cooling. I don't know. I'm good with percentages. So I'm going to go ahead and override that and override the auto and just make sure it's trying to cool at full power here. And of course, the moment I do that, it kicks up to 3.4. I think the encouraging thing to know just from these tests is that you can expect this to pull about 3.4 amps. I haven't seen it pull anything higher. At 100%, it wants to pull 3.4. No matter how hard it's going to work. Now, of course, it's trying to work way too hard to try to get down to that -5 set point. Again, this is only about a 25-degree delta, and so it's got to be better than that. It's got to be better. We'll be patient with it here. Of course, you can see the meter in the background again a little bit. Now we're at 0. By the way, in my previous test, I cut it off as it got down to -5, if you watch the other video, and it started climbing back up again. It climbed all the way back up to around -2.8 degrees, at which point I cut it off and decided to go ahead and switch to SharpCap and give that a try. And what's funny, this is the first time I've opened up SharpCap and it immediately opened. So I guess I had the driver already installed. I think it saw QHY600M and I clicked on it and it automatically linked it. Didn't have to do anything to get it connected. I guess that's a good thing. Interesting program. Looks like a lot of good stuff here. Might have to give it a spin just to try to, especially if I want to do some video with this camera. Usually not that big of a planetary kind of a guy, just there are people out there that do it a lot better than me and in better conditions than me. So it's like, why frustrate myself? Yeah, just awfully slow trying to get there. Again, we're still at the 3.5 or 3.3, 3.4 amps, bouncing around in that range. So pretty much, again, that's pretty much what you can expect, but you know, slowly trying to creep up there at full power here. It's frustrating. By the way, testing this power supply, as far as voltage goes, it's pretty rock solid at 12.21 volts, so it's giving good voltage. I had another power supply that I could have plugged into, but it it was putting out about 12.5 volts, interestingly. So, which is probably a little bit too much, but I guess I could have. Given that one a try with a bit more juice. But yeah, if it's rated for 12 volts, I have to say try it at 12 volts. Yeah. Again, still working hard and still having a hard time. It's slowly trying to climb down to that -5, but again, much more consistent though today. It's definitely just struggling. Not exactly sure. I'd say I'm around 20, probably 22 degrees Celsius ambient temperature right now. We keep our house around 75, I guess, this time of year, and during the day. So it's 75 degrees Fahrenheit. It's American language. 75 degrees Fahrenheit, it's probably around 22. Is that right? Somebody with Google, get out there and check for me. Heck, I got a computer right here. I'll just check it. Oh, say hi to Dylan. Hi, Dylan. What is that? 75 F2C. Yeah, 24. Okay, well that's a little bit better. So we're right at 24 degrees Fahrenheit. So that's slightly more encouraging, I guess. 24. So we're at a delta of -26 right now. The fact that I was able to drop down to -5 earlier, and then it wanted to equalize. So I'm looking at I'm right at a -26 right now, I guess. 24 from this. Yeah, right around 26 delta. So I guess that's not awful. But this is very typical though. 75 degrees, 24 is very. I mean, that would be a cool night, mostly in Texas, and so you want a camera like this to be able to consistently get down to around -5 as a good set point. It's kind of where the knee of the curve starts to really, where you get diminishing returns below that. But if you're getting most Texas nights in the summer, especially, we're easily over 30 degrees Celsius. There are nights when we're above 90 degrees Fahrenheit, pushing 40 degrees Celsius, and so you definitely want a camera that can get 35, a delta of 35 Celsius, and that would be very useful. But it's definitely not wanting to do that. Yeah. We're definitely going to need to do something about that, aren't we? Okay, Dr. QHY, let's get to it. Let's figure out what's going on with this camera. All right, buddies. See ya. Again, so there it is. Still 3.3, 3.4 amp draw. Not too bad, but it's got to do better than that, doesn't it? We'll see you guys.